much for joining me today. My name is Andra Ehlert. I am the Vice President for Technical Talent Transformation at Entity Data Inc. I am talking to you today from Frankfurt in Germany. I am in our beautiful office a little bit outside of Frankfurt City. We were supposed to have spring. It's springtime now in Europe. The weather has decided something else. We have had snow over the week. So I think for some of you joining from some of these parts of the world, you're understanding a little bit what I'm saying. All right. Our session today looks around your growth of your career in technology. I will not be sharing many slides because, first of all, I'm not a big fan of slides, and usually people in my team, they know me for this. And also because I believe it's not about sharing a particular slide about how you can grow your career. It's about empowering you to grow your own career. So let's have a look at a couple of topics. I have asked already some of you, and this is also already the time when I'm stopping the sharing already of the screen. I have asked some of you to answer me one of the questions, which was around, do you listen to podcasts? Yeah, is this something that you are doing in your day-to-day job? I think something that I've come across in the last couple of months is that we are bombarded with podcasts and influencers. Let it be on a variety of topics. Yeah, let it be from career growth to nutrition to sports. Yeah, if you think a little bit of our current landscape, if you are thinking, okay, how can I grow my career? We have podcasts, and you have a protocol for almost everything. You have a protocol about how to break the imposter syndrome. There is a protocol about your executive presence in the role you're having. There are protocols from around your nutrition, sleep early, wake up early, the 5 a.m. club. Go to the gym, do sports outdoors, get sunshine in the morning to get fresh light in your eyes. So there is an entire multitude of advice. There is an entire multitude of protocols that we are expected to follow. In this entire sea of protocols, I was also finding myself in the recent time, and also it feels overwhelming, isn't it? It's overwhelming when there is a protocol for almost everything you're trying to do with your life. Yeah? If you want to live a healthy, long life and to have a career growth, and especially a career growth in technology, there is advice everywhere. And how do you deal when there is just so much information out there? To cut a little bit through this noise, and like so many of you, feeling myself overwhelmed, I decided to sit a bit back and to understand what is actually the important part of it. What I will be sharing to you today is not another protocol, so please also drop me a message if you at any point feel that I'm going to give you yet another protocol. I'm going to share you my experience of how I have cut a bit through the overload of information in terms of career growth, and how I arrived to what are my two important points when it comes to the growth of career. So coming a little bit back to who I am, and from here we can look at the different topics of interest, especially for a career in technology. I was born in Romania, so you can hear it probably a little bit in my accent as well. I was always passionate by technology. As a kid, I was probably 5 or 6, and we were already doing our first script and the first code at school. And then the more I grew, the more my interest in technology has continued. I followed as well a technical high school. I went afterwards to study in France, where I have followed classic computer science studies and became an engineer in computer science and telecommunications, and then started my career at back then what used to be Dimension Data. Then starting in Dimension Data, and then later this company became Entity Limited and now Entity Data Inc. I've had the chance to actually work in many areas of technology. I've done programming, I've done network engineering, design engineering, data center engineering, went to build an automation team, looked at how can I actually take my pure technical skills and actually build a team around this type of skills and empower the people around me to also gain skills in some of these newest technologies. I've built a automation practice in the European region for entity, and then I moved over to our group organization to enable colleagues around the world with technical skills. But technical skills in the end are just a mean to progress your career and to grow your career. And the main motivation for people to learn is actually to grow their career. Looking at all of the efforts that we have done at NTT, from making sure that we've implemented the best of the tools to put in people's hands, to providing barrier-free learning to everyone to grow their careers. These are all tools that are coming with a very high return when it comes to the actual career progression of our people. So now looking concretely on through the sea of information that's available for self-growth, what are the areas that I feel have had the greatest impact when it comes to growth in technology, as a career in technology? So one of them is around the leadership and collaboration. Coming from an area with technical skills and technical background, people don't necessarily take you as you are the person that has people skills and management and leadership skills. You'll be surprised how actually so many of the engineering teams are much more cooperative when they have a leader that actually knows a lot more about their technology and understands them better in their day-to-day work. So in the area of leadership and collaboration, the topics that have been that have had the greatest impact to grow my career have been build a diverse network and get the most intelligent people in my team and get the intelligence out of the entire team. Building a diverse network around me has been important because to grow your career, you need to better understand the business focus, the business rationale, and also what are our clients wanting? What motivates them and what motivates them to actually do business with us? And if you want to grow your career, you need to follow where are we actually making our revenue. This is the biggest career predictor if you're looking at building this side of your professional life. The area around having the most intelligent people in your team and actually extracting that intelligence of the community it's extremely important because you independently how much you learn and independently how much you are connected to the innovation, you will never be able to know it all, and you shouldn't also try to know it all. What's most important is that you actually get the people around you in your team that know something and are specialists into a specific area. And then gathering the emotional and technical intelligence of your team is by looking at where each one of them is actually having the biggest, is the most specialized. It will not help you if you try to put a person into another role where they actually don't have those particular skills. So what you can do is you can grow those people, but you cannot, you will not get that diamond refined if it's not the area of interest for themselves. So this entire concept around the building my network and as well extracting the intelligence from around my team, it's probably one of the first things I've learned when I decided to embrace becoming a leader in this organization, and it's something which has definitely been part of my success. I don't have a recipe for that, and this is the beauty of it, because I think each one of you should define their own recipe in terms of what's the most important step to grow your career. That's why I'm presenting the ones that have been definitely the most important step for me. The second area that I have prioritized is around the personal and professional growth coming together. And this again goes back to what I was mentioning at the very beginning of the call. Podcasts is very important to have access to that information. but it's even more important to curate through that information. You will not be able to follow all of that protocols at once. So for personal and both professional goals, I've looked at setting clear goals for myself, drawing my own career, like a literal drawing of the career I'm looking to follow, and then as well looking at setting those clear goals. Where do I want to be now? Where do I want to be in a couple of months? Where do I want to be in 5 years from now? It sounds like a trivial thing to do, but it's not always done. Not everyone does it, and not everyone just sits and literally you're drawing your career. And the second part in this entire professional and personal growth has been around seeking advice and seeking feedback. Sometimes you have in your career those times when you have the mountains of excitement and the valleys of despair. Sometimes they are coming much faster one after another. Sometimes you find yourself longer time on the mountain of excitement. Sometimes you find yourself maybe for longer time in the valleys of despair. It's important to surround yourself with mentors and sponsors to be there for you in the time you're up, but also in the time when you're down. So seek advice, seek for feedback, and then seek as well this feedback from outside of your direct team, and for outside of your direct manager or the direct managers around you. And then last but not least is the point where I wanted to arrive with this session is around how do we actually, because this is generalistic information in the end, yeah, but how do we actually apply it to technology? This area is, let's say that if you're someone that comes from a technology background, you're probably going to find it natural to apply some of this advice. If you're someone that is coming from a non-technical background, but you want to succeed with a career of technology, it's probably something that you can work on the same like you would work on any other self-growth methodology, or self-growth protocol. So the three most important topics for me in growing a career in technology have been around the staying current with the technical trends. In order for you to be successful, remember what we spoke a couple of minutes ago, you also need to understand where can you create revenue for your company. And this, especially in technology, keeping track of the technical trends in the enterprise world, what are your clients' needs, what are your client pains, is what you need to look, and what needs to be probably one of your priority when orienting your career towards technology. The second area is read scientific papers. Now, this is something which I've never stopped doing after finishing my studies. I was looking very much into a research career, and then I've decided that the research itself is not something which would fit me directly, but I've stayed close to this area. And this is something which I came to realize probably now, 12 years later, that has been the second area that has helped me the most to grow a career in technology. Staying close to research gives you that advancement to actually have time to prepare for what's coming. There is always a difference between the technical innovation and the research and the latest trends in terms of technology innovation, and the difference in time between the corporate innovation and the business innovation. You'll always find people were talking about 5G 15 years ago. 5G is only penetrating now in some of the private 5G, for example, in some of the corporate and our enterprise clients. And same you will have with all of the hypes, the technological hypes. If you look at from distributed computing to cloud computing, to automation, to data, and now to AI, all of these technological hypes, what we are seeing, how we have seen them as waves over the years, there has always been a difference between 5 to 10 years until they actually entered the enterprise world. So for you, if you really want to be at the forefront of innovation and to be one of the top voices in technology and of the technical and become one of these technical leaders, reading research paper and scientific literature, it actually allows you to see what comes down the line, what's going to be there in 10 years from now, or what's going to be there in in 2 or even 3 years from now. That's enough time for you to actually get ahead of that hype and not have one of these FOMO's effect, the fear of missing out when it hits the enterprise market. And then last but not least, choose an innovative company to work for. I think this has been the biggest blessing to be working for NTT Data. The fact that it's a company that spans across so many technical domains. We are into satellite data, submarine cables, application development, infrastructure, networking, security, data center and building our own data centers, cloud, automation, AI, and DevOps. So all of these areas, you can actually find them at NTT. Wherever you go in the market, once you finish your studies, or even if you're now in another technical domain, if you're actually joining NTT, you will have the opportunity to actually move across all of these domains. And as in many podcasts out there, you're probably hearing that you're having that careers are no longer just these ladder careers, and careers also means the lateral move or just simply switching the technology focus that you're having. And definitely at NTT is probably the best company to work for in this regards. If you look at the major other tech companies in the world, some of them are very much focused on to having a platform as a service or having a software as a service and therefore the skills which are needed are niche into maybe 3-4 technology domains in IT space. Whereas at NTT, because we cut across so many areas of technology, you will always have the chance to actually change your technology domain. Yeah? And if you're someone that is looking into being a technology leader, having this variety into one company is actually amazing. The part around innovation is as well very, very important, because you don't want to lock yourself into a company that doesn't keep up with innovation. At NTT, the fact that our company keeps up with innovation and is an innovator and is a pioneering itself some of these areas, it actually allows you to be ahead of the curve by default, just by being in the right company. So I wanted to share with you some of these topics that have been very important to me. I didn't want them to sound like a protocol. That's why I've just exposed what are areas that I have curated from the endless hours of podcasts and the endless followers, people that I'm following, and as well from the years I have had so far with NTT. My key the key point of my presentation actually stays in the title of my session, which is Grow Your Career in Technology. It's about your career. It's not about a certain protocol that you hear in a podcast. It's about you sitting down with some piece of paper or with your notebook and really creating and drawing that career journey. Take your career as if it would be another project at work, and plan that career. Create your project plan. You can and you should follow all of these podcasts, but you should always take them with a little bit of salt, and you should always curate what's important for you. I have presented to you today what was important as curation for me from all of this podcast, and I think as a little bit maybe as a wrap up, and I want to leave you with this thought: be the driver of your own career. At NTT, for example, we believe in growing your own career. We believe that you should be the one driving. You should be the one planning your career, and we are here to support our colleagues and our people into driving this career. I'm gonna also present another slide in case you want to take a print screen or to just put your phone out in case you want to directly visit our career portal. I am part of I'm lucky to have a great network outside of NTT as well, and to have as well a friend circle that is working in many IT companies, and the multitude of technologies we have at NTT, the support we get for our careers, and especially the fact that we are embracing this motto of here you can grow your own career. It couldn't help us more than it already does.